even more expensive, Dari.
Oh, and did you know that studies have shown that being in love is good for your health? And if you're looking to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right, well, a new study finds that online dating is the second most popular way to meet your partner, accounting for around 1 in 3 relationships. And by the way, the most common way to meet somebody is still through friends.
Yes, and love is in the air with Valentine's Day just around the corner. But if you are starting a relationship, how do you know if it's going well?
Oh, yeah, and are there actually signals that both of you are sending out that can actually reveal what you're really thinking about each other? You know,
yeah, this is a good subject. And joining us right now is Tonya Reiman, author of The Body Language of Dating. Thank you so much for being here, Tonya. This is good. As we said, we like talking about this kind of a subject. It's interesting for a lot of people. In your book, you talk about nonverbal communication, right? What does that all mean?
Well, you know, the most important thing that people need to realize is nonverbal communication, body language, is what we actually had before we had words. So the movements, nonverbal communication is primal to us. It's instinctive to us. And it's much easier for me to look at you and figure out what you're thinking than it is for me to listen to your words, look at your body, and then determine if it matches. So we depend upon nonverbal cues much more than we depend upon verbal ones.
Well, you know, that makes sense, because with babies, before they speak, you know, you read them. Okay, so obviously, as you said, we send out signals. What signals do women send out if they're interested and if they're not?
Well, you know, what you need to realize first, though, is there's a difference between how men and women come across.
Okay.
So when we talk about what we're looking for, realize that in order to determine if we have a connection, we have to first understand those differences. So I like to pinpoint those differences. Some of the differences are as simple as, you know, men are problem solvers, whereas women like to talk out their problems, and they don't necessarily want an answer. They just want to be able to speak about their problems.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Other things that you need to realize is men tend to have more tunnel vision, whereas women can see a little bit further around, you know, the eyes in the back of the head kind of theory. And lastly, and most importantly, is men don't always like to talk about their emotions, whereas women are very emotional. So one of the biggest tips I say when we talk about men and women is, if you're trying to communicate with a man and you want him to be more emotive, you want to speak to his emotional brain. That is his right brain. In order to speak to his right brain,
what do you do? What are the signals?
You should talk to his left side. You want to line up your left eye with his left eye. You want to perhaps speak into his left ear. You even want to stroke.
Let's check it out.
You even want to stroke the left side of his body, his hand or his arm, because that's going right into the emotional brain.
This is fascinating.
So get on the left.
On the left side.
So with women, does it mean get on the right?
No, it's actually similar, but this will help at least bring out a little bit more emotions in the man. If we want to talk about basic signaling, you know, men and women both tend to, when they're attracted to one another, do one of two things. They'll either lift their eyebrows up, and that's a sign of either recognition or attraction.
This is great. Yeah, watch out.
In addition to that, when we're attracted to someone, we tend to gaze and then look down in submissiveness and then look back up. And both men and women do this. So if you're looking at someone and they break off to the left or the right, they might not be that interested, but if they look down, there's definite interest.
Tonya, this is great. This is all in your book, too. You can get the book and read all this material. I like this. So what's the name of the book, by the way, again?
Body Language of Dating.
Body Language of Dating. Okay, we want to make sure we get that. Tonya, this is great.
So you think that this can really... Let's talk about the fact that online dating is skyrocketing and how that can be very difficult. Real quick, we're running out of time.
You know what? Here's 2 great things about it. Number one, I think that it has opened up a new population of people who are a little bit more shy. It also changes things across the ages. It doesn't matter how old you are, you can always have some online dating tips. What I have problems with, though, is the fact that there's a lot of impression management. You can lie on these online dating forums. So you just have to be very self-aware. So when you meet someone for the first time, be aware and watch their nonverbals. And also, I always say, before you actually meet someone, Skype with them. With today's technology, you have the ability to Skype, and right there you can pick up their nonverbals.
It's called The Body Language of Dating. Tonya
Learned a lot here,
Tonya.
Thank you
so much. That was terrific.
Thank you.
I'll remember the left side now.
Very important.
Favor of mine.
Oh, I would love that.
Yes, we got to watch him as he looks on the left side of people. Shay, I mean, you know, now I'm a little weary.
Yeah, you have to be careful what you do more than what you say now.
You know, she said touch the left side of a man.
Right. Interesting.
That brain.
Okay.
Well, here's another motion that you should get used to.
Yes.
What is that?
Oh, yeah, nice.
That's
like in shoveling.
Yep. Or maybe just a little scraping. You know, something along those lines.
Not too much, though. Not too much, right?
Yeah, you'll be doing a little of that into tomorrow. As we scan the skies on Fox 5 Sky Guardian, we're not seeing a lot right